Shalom, shalom, shalom. We're back with another video. Before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash, to the elder apostles and bishop of Great Millstone who rule well, who I learn from daily. I'd like to give double honor. Shalom to the 144,000, to the 1/3, to the elect. Shalom. I ain't really got a name for the video, but we're going to get into the article that says retired officer who shot cop husband to death while demonstrating how to kill snakes received fate. A retired police officer from New Jersey was sentenced to more than a decade in prison for shooting and killing his husband, also a former cop, while demonstrating how to kill a snake during a night of drinking. Joseph, 38, who found guilty in January of first-degree aggravated manslaughter in the 2023 death of his husband, 44-year-old John Kelly, in Venter Township on Wednesday. A judge sentenced Draco to 11 years in prison, the Saxon County prosecutor officer said in a press release. So here we have two former cops out on the town drinking, and they both husband and husband. Now we know the scripture looks frown upon two men being together, as it says in Leviticus, and we're going to get that. This Leviticus 18 and 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. And this still apply. Two men laying together, making a beast with two backs, is still an abomination to Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai. Now we also know the Lord said when two men lie together, they shall surely be put to death for this abomination. And there was no more poetic justice than Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai making sure one of these men put the other man to death. Then had the other man go to jail for 11 years for the crime of putting his husband to death. Because people still think, because of the Christian church, that Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai take pleasure in wickedness, that he finds this kind of thing okay and it's cool that two men lie together. No, he wouldn't have not made this law if he was okay with two men being together. The Lord hates wickedness, and this is wickedness of the highest order when two men laying together. And to prove that, we're going to hear Psalm 5 and 4. For thou art not a power that has pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. See, Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai has no pleasure in wickedness. He don't take delight in seeing two men lay up with each other, hugged up, hand in hand, kissing and all this other wicked stuff. So what he do? He used one man to put the other man to death. Then had that man go to jail for 10 years. Lord willing, that we won't be here for those 10 years. But that's really a death sentence, because guess what? If those nuclear missiles come within that time, and I pray they do, this man ultimately is going to be put to death by thermonuclear fire. So even though Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai used him to put his own husband to death, he's going to be put to death as well. Why? Because the Lord takes no pleasure in wickedness. The church might tell him he do. Told no men, yeah, that's okay. I mean, I never heard of Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shai saying a husband and husband. That come from this wicked ass place, which is Babylon the Great, that allow a man to marry another man. But also in doing that, you also raised the eye of Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai to look upon you, to judge both of you guys by having one of you kill the other, then go to jail for a decade behind it. But that's what happened when you fall into the hands of the living power. And we're going to get that and see what it said. Hebrews 10 and 31. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Yeah, you want to be butt buddies. You want to lay up and play with another man. Then you, Salakia, let me slow down. Then you most definitely are gonna fall into the hand of the living power. Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai definitely gonna look your way, because it's an abomination for two men to lay up. And if you think you're gonna live long doing that, hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai had another trick for him. Because when he first created man and he looked for a helpmeet for man, he never looked for another man to be something that a man can get down with. No. Remember, that's the point of Eve being made. Remember, after the Lord brought Adam Eve, and Adam went unto her, what Adam said? A man shall leave his mother, father, and cling unto his wife. Not a man will leave his mother and father and cling unto his husband. Only that sick and twisted mindset is here in Babylon. And thus, a lot of people are put to death by Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai for doing this abomination. And that's another reason why Babylon will ultimately be destroyed. Because it doesn't follow Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai's divine order of a man and woman to be being together. But they want to do a man and a man or a woman and a woman, creating all kind of wicked abomination. And as we just learned in Psalms 5 and 4, Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai take no pleasure in wickedness. We're going to close out here in Genesis 2:23 through 24, just to back up the point of Yahweh Ba'ashem and Hawashai set it up for a man and a woman to be together, not a man and a man. Verse 23, Adam said, now this is the bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, not man, but woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife. We know that word wife going to a woman, and they shall be one flesh. Not a man and a man, one flesh. Matter of fact, let's look up that word cleave. So the man gonna leave his mother and father once he find a wife, and he gonna cleave unto his wife. Let's see. The Bach.
Strong's H 1692. Davak. And the form just below that, Davake.
To cling, stick, stay close, cleave, keep close, stick to, stick with, follow closely, join to, overtake, to catch, to cling to cleave to stay with, to be joined together. See, the Lord had it to where man and woman will be joined together, not man and man. So when a man leave his mother and father, he should cling unto his wife. He should be joined together with his wife. That's why they become of one flesh. He never said he putting another two men together to be joined in one flesh. No children can be born out of that union. No generations can be had out of a man playing with a man. It's an abomination to Yahweh Bashim Shah. And I say good riddance, man. You're going to sit there and be butt pals with another man. The Lord's supposed to destroy you. It's like 7 women to 1 man. And you telling me you want to lay with another guy? That's crazy in this time, man. When the truth is out there, when the scriptures being brought out, when you're seeing judgment on the daily. But a lot of these people, most definitely the heathen, don't fear Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's why they got to be made an example of. That's why they got to be made out of lesson. So those are who's in the truth will fear Yahweh Bashim Shai and try to stay away from these evil. We just learned Yahweh Bashim Shai has no pleasure in wickedness. And he's going to continue to destroy wickedness wherever he sees it. Especially now that we're getting closer and closer to the end. But I hope this video will edify. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem and Shai. Shalom.